Hello, everybody. How are you doing on this fine Monday? I am doing, wow, it feels like I've lived 3 days on this Monday, but I'm doing fine. Well, one might say. So I've been researching pretty much all day into this Cher case. And if y'all follow me on Instagram, I'm just going to get right into it. I'm tired. I don't feel like doing a long intro. So, hello, welcome. Okay. So if you go to Instagram, I will share my screen. Okay. Here we are on Instagram, and okay. I just want to show y'all a few different titles here of like how this thing was described. Um, and then we're going to read some articles. So this all boils down to back in 2018, I think it was like September, October timeframe. There was these headlines in the news, breaking news, whatever the case may be. There was a DRUG raid or a DRUG bust at Cher's house in Malibu. Now, pretty much all the articles agreed, for the most part, that Cher was not at the house whenever this bust slash raid happened. Now, there's some interesting points about this story, like, for example, the fact that Cher's house is in Malibu, but the Ventura County police or whatever showed up to effectuate a search warrant on Cher's property, on her home in Malibu. Thought that was weird because I don't know how they would have had jurisdiction there. Not really sure. It's kind of unclear. That's one of the things you'll see. So I started to look into the headlines and just the different reporting to really frankly just gather as much information as I could about the situation because it's intriguing and interesting to me to see a headline such as that. So then I start reading more and more articles, and something that's been happening a lot lately, something that's becoming a little bit common in my research is that there's a lot of kind of like conflicting details in a lot of these stories. So if you were following the BJ Investigates web series or whatever about all the music industry and all the players and things, then you will kind of see like there's these things that are not adding up, like an Usher's story, right? There's like 3 different origin stories. Backstreet Boys, there's a little bit of discrepancies. You look into the details. They say the devil's in the details. Well, the devil's there and she is lying, or he. So anyway, I just want to show y'all a couple of the different types of things I was seeing kind of in a little curated moment on the Instagram post, and then we'll read a couple of these articles. Okay. So this says, okay, so this is one of my Instagram posts, and it's my caption is it's weird how headlines couldn't get their story straight on who was arrested at Cher's house for drug dealing. Is it the assistant's son or is it the nephew? Why was he staying at her house while she was on tour anyway? Who is this kid? Right? These are the questions going through my mind whenever I was investigating or researching or reading articles on the internet like one is allowed to do. Okay, so here's one. October 4th, 2018, Daily Mail. We've all heard of that one. The headline is Cher's Malibu mansion revealed to be DRUG den for her assistant's nephew. Okay, see that nephew got highlighted even for you. Donovan Ruiz was arrested after police swarmed Cher's home last Thursday. Okay, so there's a couple questions I want y'all to keep in mind too as we're just reading through this, because I'll kind of give you a little bit of some flag posts, some Blue's Clues on what to look for. One of them is going to be, where was he arrested, right? Was he arrested at Cher's home, or was he arrested in the car on his way somewhere? Okay, keep that in mind. Who is he? Nephew, son? Does Cher know him? What is their relationship? All that. And what actually happened? Okay, keep those 3 main categories in mind. Okay. Okay, as you can see on the Instagram picture, the police found 1.3 grams of a certain thing in Donovan's pants, allegedly. Now, this is according to news reports. I wasn't there. I do not know. Innocent until proven guilty or whatever. Okay, here's the next headline. This one is from Heavy, and it was from a week or 2 earlier, September 27th. maybe just 1 week earlier, 2018. And this one says Cher's assistant's son arrested at the singer's Malibu home. Cher has a longtime assistant named Jennifer Ruiz. Jennifer has been with Cher for more than 25 years, Cher told Billboard magazine. Okay. I have something in my eye. Okay. The next one is son, again, just to show, it's more than one saying this son thing. Okay, and then we're going to look at this article. All right. So that's that. Okay, then I just want y'all to take a look at this. We'll get to what this is in a little bit. But this is downloading. Okay, we'll get to that. And then okay, that's this. Okay. So let's go with I'll just pull up I'll just pull up one of these. Okay, let's start with LA Times. Why not? And put it on reader view, but this is LA Times. Cher's Malibu Mansion. This is from September 28th, 2018. Cher's Malibu Mansion raided by law enforcement in connection with arrest of a staff member's son. Okay, well, we saw those other article titles, and it's probably the personal assistant's son. There's a just glamorous, glorious beauty shot. Wow, fantastic. Okay. What does this say? Ventura County Sheriff's deputies served a search warrant on Cher's Malibu home on Thursday in connection with a drug investigation involving the son of one of her staffers. In this January file photo, Cher speaks during a women's march rally. Okay. The son of one of Cher's employees, this is LA Times, was arrested on suspicion of possession for sale of a controlled substance on Thursday. The same day, the award-winning actress and singer's Malibu home was searched by law enforcement. Okay, so this is not saying it happened there, right? It's just saying he was arrested. One of the the son of one of Cher's employees was arrested, and Cher's Malibu home was searched. But it doesn't say where it happened, so I appreciate that they didn't actually jump to a conclusion on that one because some did, or not maybe. Authorities took Donovan Ruiz, who was 23 years old at the time, into custody in connection with a 2-week narcotics investigation that began when someone unfortunately passed after getting hold of something that allegedly that had been provided to them by this guy, Donovan Ruiz. And this was all according to the Ventura County Sheriff's Captain. What's his name? Garo Karagian. I don't know. He is the sheriff captain of the Ventura County Sheriff. That's the ones that effectuated the warrant upon Cher's house back in 2018. Authorities say this guy that was arrested at Cher's home supplied certain substances to a person who ended up unfortunately passing, and the powder was mixed. Okay, whatever. Okay, we don't need to read that. Okay. Ruiz, the guy who was arrested, the 23-year-old, he was arrested at Cher's mansion in 2018, being held in Ventura County Jail on a $500,000, so $500,000 bail, and is expected to appear in court Monday. After he was arrested, authorities served a search warrant on Cher after he was arrested. Okay, so this LA Times is saying it was after Donovan was arrested. Okay, so just keep that in mind to one of our questions we asked earlier. Authorities served a search warrant on Cher's home. Why are they going to dox the girl? Okay. I guess it's pretty obvious where she lives. I mean, it's like these famous people. It's like these giant estates. People know where they live. Okay. During this investigation, detectives were able to seize evidence related to Ruiz's selling of certain things he's not allowed to sell, said that police captain. It's not clear what was seized from the residence. Cher was not home likely during the raid. She's scheduled to perform in Australia. She was doing an ABBA cover album. Okay. Fine and good. So that's one version. Let's just read one or two more of those. Okay. So here's another one. This one is from VenturaCountyStar.com. I think that's a local newspaper type of thing. The title says Ventura County Sheriff's deputies make narcotics arrest at Cher's Malibu home. Okay, see this title? This one says they make the arrest at her home. Remember over here it said after he was arrested, they served the search warrant. It's kind of unclear. Was he there? Was he not? Because this first thing was like he was arrested and the same day, the house was searched, but it doesn't tell. It's vague. It's vague so far where exactly he was arrested or apprehended or whatever you want to call it. All right. This other article right here, this one's from a different source. And this one says in the title, in the headline, bold, huge letters, Ventura County Sheriff's deputies make narcotics arrest at Cher's Malibu home. Okay, so a little bit more info here. The arrest happened at the home, so maybe they arrested and then served the warrant. I don't know. Ventura County Sheriff's deputies arrested 23-year-old man Thursday at Cher's Malibu home in connection with a narcotics investigation, authorities said. Same captain, said a warrant was served around 2:30 p.m. at Cher's residence. Okay, so now we have a little more details, 2:30. The warrant resulted in the arrest of no. Okay, so I don't know, but what does that mean? The warrant resulted in the arrest? Like when they were searching through the house, they made the arrest? Because then some people are going to say it doesn't matter when he was arrested, but I kind of feel like it's like a pretty important detail. Just when you're reporting a story to the public, like what was going on? Was he at the house? Was he in the car already? Were they chasing him down the street? It's just not clear. We'll read a few more. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, but I mean, I would like a little bit more clarity. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. The warrant resulted in the arrest of Donovan Ruiz, who lives at the residence in connection with a fatal situation that occurred in recent weeks in Thousand Oaks, according to authorities. I'm reading just VC Star, VenturaCountyStar.com. That's where I'm getting this from. I didn't make it up. All right. That sheriff's captain said Ruiz is suspected in furnishing the narcotics involved in the tragedy. And if he had done so, it would be a felony offense. He was reportedly arrested without incident. Detectives seized evidence of sales of illegal controlled substances, according to a news release from the sheriff's office. Ruiz was booked into Ventura County Jail on suspicion of sales of a controlled substance, and authorities said additional charge enhancements related to the death are likely. His bail was set at $500,000, scheduled to be arraigned 1:30 Monday. The police sheriff captain said he could not confirm. This is important. This gets to another one of our questions. Who is he? Does Cher know he was in the home? Did she know that he was, I don't know. But in this one right here, it says the sheriff's, what was he? The Ventura County Sheriff's Department captain, Gino or something, Carigian. I don't know. I really don't know how to say that. Sorry. He said he could not confirm the connection between Cher and Ruiz. So that doesn't really answer our question, but he's saying he doesn't know. He said Cher is not related to the warrant. According to the website, she is currently on tour in Australia. Okay, so that's another version of the story. I think I already kind of said, the places where I thought it was a little bit unclear or whatever. Let's see. Let's look up like one more. Cher 2018 home raid. Let's try that. Okay, here's the second one that came up. It was the first one that came up that I hadn't already clicked on before. So let's do this one. Let me turn it. Let's see. Can it do a reader view? Yes, I'd much rather that. Okay. This one is from, when's the date? Shoot. Hold on. September 28th, 2018. So around the same time, although it is not the same day as the last one. I think the last one was 26th or 7th. Okay, this one's September 28th, 2018. This headline is Cher's mansion raided by police as assistant's son is arrested for bleep related incident. It was her home was reportedly searched in a police raid on Thursday. TMZ reports, TMZ, they always get the exclusive. They report that the 72-year-old's Malibu home was attended to by several police officers, fire services, and paramedics, with photos showing patrol cars outside what was purported to be Cher's property. However, Cher was not at home at the time of the incident. She was currently performing on tour in Australia. According to TMZ, the sheriff's department issued a search warrant and searched the property. Police sources reportedly revealed that Donovan Ruiz, the son of Cher's assistant, was arrested at the scene. Allegedly, he was taken into custody to be questioned in connection with the death of a Ventura County resident who died after an incident in mid-September. Law enforcement sources also alleged to have told the publication, law enforcement sources also allegedly told TMZ that Ruiz was arrested for felonies supplying substances, blah, blah, blah. Okay. In a statement issued to Radar, that same captain, he was really on his little press run, wasn't he? He said a subject was arrested today, a 23-year-old male named Donovan Ruiz. He is still there now. Detectives are still there now. His arrest is related to a death that occurred that month, September 2018. The investigation is regarding that death. There is a link between that happening and Donovan. And then the captain says, and he lives at that house. Now, I will say, I've only spent about a day or two researching this, so I'm no expert by any means, but I haven't gotten a clear answer from anybody anywhere. What exactly prompted this arrest? Yes, it was in connection with that type of death, all that, fine, good. But they don't say like, oh, they had gotten a tip or it's part of a larger investigation. And I guess they don't have to, but I'm curious, how it led to this point. It might help fill in some of the blanks where some of the stuff is ambiguous or contradictory, but what do I know? All right. Sergeant Eric Basho, I don't know who that is, also told People. Did they tell us who he is? It's like a different person. We were talking about Corrigian. Sergeant Basho also told People they're doing People magazine interviews. That's fine. I do think more transparency the better. They should do interviews all the time. That's great. The target of the search warrant is Donovan Ruiz. His arrest is related to a narcotics that occurred within the last 2 weeks. Cher is performing on her Here We Go Again tour down under until the 21st of October. And then she's going to be going back to Las Vegas for Halloween. So Cher was like off. She had an alibi. Nobody was questioning Cher. Okay. Should we read one more? I don't know. I feel like I want a bombshell or something. Let's see. Cher responds to. Let's try that. Okay. Why don't we just do this just for fun, for the nostalgia? Tabloid of the Century, National Enquirer, just to see. I'm not saying it's a credible source. Let's just see what they're saying over there. Sometimes you got to just remind yourself what they're saying at the. Nobody take this for facts because they was publishing Bat Boy stories, but they also have like broken some real stories. Just take with a grain of salt. I'm just reading it. All right. This one's from October 23rd. So like a month later after the other ones we were just now reading. Cher's Malibu mansion turned into a bleep den. Shocking bust disrupts singer's Aussie tour. Why did they use this 40-year-old picture of her? Please, for the love of God. Okay. So now we have a picture of somebody right here. Cher is reeling. Can we do this? Hold on. Thank God. Oh, no, we cannot. No. Okay, sorry. Okay, I guess we can just read this paragraph. Cher's reeling after learning that a trusted house guest was busted at her Malibu mansion for selling deadly bleep and having bleep bleep. Y'all can read it right here if you want. I'm just trying to keep my stuff alive over here, okay? Can you go away? No, no. Armed with a warrant, a sheriff's drug task force swooped down on the taut skinned songbirds' cushy seaside digs late last month and arrested Donovan Ruiz. See, here it kind of makes it seem like he was arrested there, but I guess technically it could be that they swooped in there and then later arrested him. I really don't know. Police say they seized key evidence, including bleep and oh my. Ruiz is suspected of being the source of supply of a certain type of substance to many users in Ventura County, said a police source. Okay. I think y'all get the picture, right? You get the point. You get like that's what was being reported. Is it the son? Is it the nephew? Was it at there was we're gonna see something elsewhere, and then y'all can take my word for it for then. But there's also kind of conflicting stories about exactly where he was arrested. We didn't everything we saw kind of could be reconciled if you read it in a certain way, but I think there's one that we're going to come into in the next article. But is it the son? Is it the nephew? Cher's on tour in Australia. Okay. Uh huh. Okay. So then the next thing I have in my little notes here is what happened. Okay. So what actually did happen? Um, y'all can go and read this. I do have the court documents to kind of like back this up, but don't take anything that I'm saying based on a court document because I need to like read through each word, each line, and just make sure I'm comfortable with the level of redactions that are in there because I would, y'all know I'm a little bit particular about making sure I redact everything. So I'll just tell y'all from what I found today, and then you can go do your own research and fact check me and stuff or whatever. But basically, what had happened was this guy, Donovan Ruiz, he had, according to the public reporting and stuff like that, he had prior charges. He had prior similar allegations, accusations, charges on the record that had happened in 2017. Remember, this whole thing went down in 2018, October, September. Well, he had prior charges in 2017 that I guess they had declined to prosecute, or maybe they still had time to, that maybe the statute of limitations hadn't closed, whatever. And then this incident happened in 2018 and um he already had that 2017 issue. There also was another issue involving grand theft back in 2014. I'm not sure if that actually ended up weighing in the court, but it was something that they were reporting in the media, and it is something I was able to confirm in the docket on the LA Superior Court website. Okay. So what happened, which we kind of discussed already, is somebody by the name of, I believe it is Kevin Cunningham. They listed his name publicly. He had unfortunately passed away. When he passed away, they did some investigation and I don't know. It's vague. They don't tell us. It's not vague. It's missing from the public record. And again, I don't guess they have to tell us. I'm just telling y'all I couldn't get to the bottom of it. But one thing led to another after Kevin Cunningham passed away. And I think he might have been maybe maybe young, like 30s or maybe 20s even. So my heart goes out to his family and all of that and his loved ones. That's a terrible tragedy to happen indeed. I don't want to dismiss that. It's just not the focus of this video right now. So he passes away and according to authorities in Thousand Oaks, California. Well, I think that's in Ventura County, if I'm not mistaken. And so the Ventura County police had jurisdiction, I guess, to investigate the case, but I'm not really sure that they had jurisdiction to go effectuate a warrant. But this is like years ago. I really don't know. They might have let them do it. I don't know. I'm not expert. I'm just reacting. So he passes, Kevin Cunningham. One thing leads to another. One tip leads to another. Something leads somehow. And they end up suspected, the Ventura County Police or Sheriff's Department ends up suspecting Donovan Ruiz in this death for being the supplier. And so they get a warrant, they go and serve the warrant, whatever. But it just so happens this Donovan Ruiz person is living at Cher's house. And Cher's on tour in Australia, but he's living there. They go serve the warrant. They get all the things they want to get from out of there. Somehow they arrest him, not exactly sure where. And that's where we are. So then I wanted to know what happened next. And there's really no reporting on it that I could find. I mean, maybe it's somewhere. I couldn't find it though. So I ended up going to and thank you for helping me find this, Christina. She helped me with this. Um we ended up being able to go to Pacer, the federal, like, what is it? I don't know even what it stands for. It's a public thing. Anybody can sign up for an account. You do have to pay, like, 10 cents a page or something, but it's public records. So I'm looking up this case because I want to know what happened with the outcome of the case. This is 2018, so I'm thinking something should have happened by now. Well, ends up being, and I can go over, like I said, the court documents with y'all, like, kind of more in detail, but the long story TLDR short is he ended up pleading guilty to certain allegations and accusations in connection with this. I don't remember off the top of my head what they were. They were related to, DRUGS in some way. I don't remember, but he pled guilty and entered into a plea agreement. Now, he didn't end up getting sentenced to his sentence until May of just this last year. And what he got sentenced to, and they did go back and forth over it. I mean, his lawyer did put up somewhat of a fight. But he ended up getting sentenced, I think, don't hold me to this. I'm just kind of like remembering right now off the top of my head. I'm not looking at notes on this, but I think they sentenced him to 36 months. And it could have been anywhere from like that all the way up to maybe 60 months or something. They went back and forth about it. And actually, his lawyer tried to argue he shouldn't get any jail time at all. And he should instead maybe just be on probation or something. And that's one of the documents I really want to get into with y'all, but I didn't have time to redact it. And it's like literally 8:30 at night over here. But we will talk about it soon. It's like the lawyer's telling all this extenuating circumstances type of stuff for Donovan and saying, like, he grew up in a really rough situation. His parents struggled with addiction and he was kind of shuffled from house to house. And by the time he ended up moving in with his aunt, Jennifer Ruiz, he was already like pretty much like super traumatized and had been through a lot of abuse and things like that. So, um, I don't know. One thing leads to another, and they're saying he just basically had a hard, life or whatever. And in addition to that, since the arrest and he had gotten bailed out, and that it was Jennifer Ruiz who bailed him out on the bond or whatever, she had to put down a surety. I think she had to put down like $25,000 or something for him to get out. We'll go over the documents, but she paid a lot of money, or she put down a lot or whatever for him to come out. And while he was out, he was doing his 12-step meetings. He had a sponsor. He was going to therapies. He was going to this, that, the other. He was submitting to testing. And so in his side's argument, they were saying, he should be able to be among society and kind of reintegrate back into society in a way like, he can be on probation or whatever. And then the prosecutors were like, no, like he definitely needs to be serving some jail time, whatever. They went back and forth, whatever. But in that back and forth, we did end up seeing, as the public, because these are public records, some details into this. And one of the details, like I just mentioned, was that he went to live with his aunt, Jennifer Ruiz, when he was a young child. Well, for me, that kind of explained a little bit as to how those headlines would have been so disparate. It's like, she's really not his mom. And maybe, I mean, I don't know, is she his aunt? That's the question that I'm wondering. I'm really not sure about it all. But if you take somebody in when they like a little child, I could see a universe where, that could be your mom. You could say that's your mom, or it could be described as that or whatever. But even bigger than that, something that was kind of like knocking on the back door of my mind all day was all this is going down at Cher's house in Malibu. And it's like the police are there. They have paramedics there, ambulances there. There was like literally it's being described. And let me just show y'all what I'm talking about, because don't take my word for it, please. Hold on. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So we have literally Cher's home being described as a DRUG den, right? And I mean, this is what she looks like. She's on tour, couldn't be bothered with what's going on in her house. And you know what? I don't blame her. She's got a tour to do. She is Cher. She is Cher with the no last name. So it just begs the question, in my opinion, what business does somebody like that have taken over somebody else's trust fund distributions? Because if the lady can't even figure out there's a literal, and it's being the headline says drug den. If you can't figure out there's a drug den operating out your house, and then the man pled guilty, okay? Like, it's not like they put up a single fight. Now, listen, I do understand there's a lot of times there's coercion. Some people ends up pleading guilty and taking plea agreements because they're pressured and coerced, stuff like that. I don't know if that happened here. I'm not implying that it did. The way that the legal system works, once you plead guilty, you're considered to be guilty. It's appealable. He could appeal it. He could say, make these arguments, whatever, but we have to at least let it lie where it is. He pled guilty according to these documents. I mean, I wasn't there. I don't have the transcripts, but I mean, I believe it. I believe it. But it just raises the question to me. I mean, there's a drug den operating out the woman's house that's killing people according to the authorities and according to somebody pleading guilty and admitting to it. And so what business does somebody like that can't even be bothered to show up to the conservatorship hearing that she petitioned? She petitioned for this conservatorship because she would be better at handling this man's money than him. But then says he's missing, can't locate him, and he shows up to the hearing and she don't. One more time for the people in the back. She applied for a conservatorship over this man. She said in those filings she did not know where he was, and he was missing, so strung out on drugs, he was so bad off that she needed to take over his money immediately. It was urgent. Time is of the essence. I shouldn't even have to give him notice of it. It's so important, right? I don't know where he is, though. Then a few days rolls around. He's right there for all to see at court. And where is she? Nowhere to be found. Missing. Maybe in Australia. Maybe she was in Australia. I don't know. So then I just started thinking, though, like, I couldn't get it out of my mind that Captain Captain Carigian, what he had said, he cannot confirm the connection between Cher and Donovan. And it's like, well, I don't know. I guess he could. I don't know. Something just felt like weird that, like, why'd they include that? Like, I wouldn't have thought about it, but they brought it to my attention. Like, yeah, what is the connection? You, you know what I mean? Which got me to kind of looking or whatever. And I pay for this service that's like a app, like an app-based service. And it's kind of like a image search, like you can Google image search, like you'll put an image in and it'll tell you all the other images where it is from or whatever. It's kind of like that where you like drag a picture in like that, but instead of like whatever Google Images is, it runs a face recognition thing. And it'll give you some pictures. It doesn't run like the whole internet. It's only like, some things or whatever. But it'll give you pictures where that person's face matched up, right? Well, okay. So I ran it for this guy. Where's his mugshot? I'll just remind y'all what he looks like. Hold on. Him. Ruiz, right? I took this picture and I put it in that recognition AI thing or whatever. And it's like a publicly available thing. You just pay a subscription or whatever. So, or actually you just pay to do it one time, actually. So I run his face through and then it gives me a bunch of results. And then one of the results, I just click on a few or whatever. And one of the results I click on brings me to this Russian language written in Russian article. And it's like .ru. And thank you, whoever invented auto translate, because it translated this article for me right out of Russian right into English. And look at what this article says in the face AI. Now, I'm not saying, just be very clear, I am not saying this is the same person. Disclaimer. I'm not saying it's the same person. In fact, let me do a disclaimer. In fact, I have put pictures into this AI thing before, and it's not the same person, right? Like I don't remember it off the top of my head in any example, but like, for example, like if I would drag my face into this recognition thing, it might turn up some other website to some other girl's face, might not be me. She might look a little bit like me or whatever, right? It's not 100%. So I'm not saying this is the same person. I'm saying the AI face recognition believes this is the same person, but I mean, we know those things are not 100%. Thank you. Okay. I am not saying they are the same person. All right. But it did bring me to this article. Right here. And it appears to be from 2013. It is, again, a Russian website. The code at the end is .ru. Cher and a dancing stranger at the airport. This is 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago, this article now. Cher was caught at the London airport with a mysterious stranger who looked much, much younger than the singer. The couple went shopping together, bought a suitcase, packed their things in it, and flew away. Who this guy is, the press hasn't found out yet. Unknown son, a new lover, just a friend, the singer's management. Gossips are breaking their heads. Okay, so I do want to say, just in my own opinion, it's pretty weird and sick that like this tabloid is like assuming that this child is her new lover. That being said, I did read some very interesting archived interview today, clips that the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers did with, I don't know who it was. I can show y'all the article later, but I think it was Vanity Fair. He said when he was 13 years old, the lead singer of Red Hot Chili Peppers, he had a with Cher, and she was like, I mean, probably like, I don't know, maybe late 20s or 30s or something. I don't know. But it's sick that they made that jump straight to that conclusion, but then it's also sick if that's true. If that's true, I don't know. I obviously was not there. I don't even think I would have been born yet, but that's what he said in an interview, according to this interview I saw today. Okay. Who's this guy? We don't know. But look, here they are going around like one of those suitcase stores in the airport in London. Now there are other people here. Now this right here picture makes me think that maybe this could be Jen Ruiz. I don't know, but the purple pants, that's Donovan. And this 2013 is 10 years ago. Here's Cher dressed like, the next Supreme or whatever. And they got a butler. And I don't know who this guy is and how he got out of it. Like, why'd this kid get out of it? He didn't get called a lover or a son. I mean, well, who's he? And who's she? They only focusing on this one right here. And here she is. She's swishing. And so anyway, this is one of the pictures it showed. And it thought maybe this could be the same person. The AI is what I'm talking about. The AI thought this person right here could possibly be the same person as, where were we? Lord have mercy. Him. Okay. So this mugshot would have been taken 2018. This right here would have been taken 2013. I don't know. Leaving the I don't know. I don't know. It's just probably too inconclusive to tell. Y'all tell me. Here they are coming out of the Suitcase Store. Okay. Well, so that's that on that aspect of the story. What else was going? Oh, there's one more thing I wanted to share with y'all / read with together. What's this? Thank you, Ro, for the super sticker. Ro Barreri. Cute cat you got there. It could be the aunt. That's what I'm saying, Michael. I really don't know. I don't know. It could be. That was my first guess, is that maybe that's the assistant. Because if she's the personal assistant and the aunt, it would make sense. She would be there with him. And it's not a lover. So still, In my opinion, it still could be just be her nephew that she took in as a mother figure or whatever, but I don't know everything, and also we're not done. So, let's look at this right here. I'm sorry, this is the only way I know how to get this to y'all. I we're just gonna have to do the best we can on this. It's also a National Enquirer article, but it's like someone's made it kind of into a PDF or whatever. And it says, "Inside Cher's House of Horrors." That's where the thumbnail inspiration for the thumbnail came from. Now, see this like orange thing in the middle? That's the inside the magazine page printed article that they printed, but then all these letters, all these words around it that says the same thing. So we're gonna read them. See, it says hard nosed boss lady Cher. See up here, hard nosed boss lady Cher. So it'd just be easier if we could just read it here. Okay. Hard nosed boss lady Cher treats her staff like convicts in a supermax prison, according to insiders. Okay. Um, Ever since the nephew of a trusted employee was busted for allegedly selling things at her Malibu mansion, the superstar diva has demanded her employees follow tough new rules. Cher has put everyone on an extremely tight leash and under virtual house arrest, so she will never be embarrassed like that again. An insider snitched. Hmm. Aerial photographs obtained exclusively by the Enquirer reveal how the singer has turned her lavish oceanfront estate. Sorry, I couldn't read it. There was something on the bottom of the screen. Into something resembling a penal. Oh no, does it end? Dang. Does it go if I do this? Okay, colony. All right, fine. Fine. The property is dotted with shabby looking walled in spots that double as storage sheds, where insiders said groundskeepers are confined when taking their breaks. Wait a second. Hold on. Aerial photographs obtained exclusively by the Enquirer reveal that Cher turned her lavish oceanfront estate into something resembling a penal colony. That's like a prison camp, a colony inside a prison. The property is dotted with shabby looking walled in spots that double as storage sheds where insiders said groundskeepers are confined when taking their breaks. Then there's a quote. They eat their lunch among the hoses and leaf blowers and other gardening supplies. It's a space that's more suited to trash bins, revealed the insider. Outside laborers are forbidden to set foot in the $41 million, 13,000 square foot mansion. They are kept out with security locks and hidden from view by walls and hedges. Staff members are routinely searched when they arrive for work, according to sources who add that gardeners, the pool cleaner, and housekeepers must leave their phones with security personnel before entering the main gate. Okay, the phone things I actually think I could see if you're like at that level of fame, why you would just want to make sure people aren't like taking pictures of, you're letting people clean your house. Like some of this stuff's like, all right, phones, you have to leave your phone for your shift. Okay, fine. But eating in the prison colony, I'm a little concerned about that. And they don't have the picture on here. I want to see the prison call. Oh my gosh, look at this. Lunch is in storage cell. Oh my gosh. Because I'm trying to zoom in and it won't zoom in. Maybe if I take a screenshot and zoom in, I'll figure it out in a second. Let's finish reading it. Workers' vehicles are banished to a remote parking lot far from the VIP spots reserved for Cher and her ritzy guests. Now she's looking into installing metal detectors. It's become something like a gulag. The lockdown began September 27th when police raided the estate after Donovan Ruiz, the nephew of the live-in assistant Jennifer Ruiz, was accused of dealing drugs. He was arrested in connection with a fatal, charged with selling a controlled substance. other felonies, but has pleaded not guilty on all counts. Cher would never blame his aunt. But Cher did morph into, this is a quote here, Stalin with everybody else. So she's not taking it out on Jen, is what they're trying to say. She's even put an end to gossiping among staffers. Only necessary talking is allowed. She also set up high-tech security cameras so staffers know to stay in line. Big Mother could be watching. Oh, it got bigger. Okay. You still can't see it like big. Anyway, I know. I mean, listen, I've thought about this before. I don't know the rules. I don't know the etiquette. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Um, so yeah, let's see. What else was there? Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like it also just a little bit shows like Cher's kind of like tendency to I don't know. It seems like she has it on her mind, like to lock people up. It seems like she kind of likes it or something. Like that's the first place her mind goes to or something. And I do understand being a little paranoid once you get famous and things, but I just it for me it seems like Cher has other things that she needs to be worrying about. A lot more important things to worry about than how Elijah Blue Almond is going to spend Greg Allman's money, trust fund money that he left to Elijah. Cher wanted to act like she cared about somebody's well-being and all of that, but really she didn't apply for a conservatorship over anybody's person. She only applied for a conservatorship over the trust fund distributions is the only thing she really mentioned. She failed to mention literally anything else that was a part of the estate for this person. So I mean, seriously, literally, yeah, Georgia money, exactly. Georgia money, exactly, and it's Georgia money because the trust is in Georgia. Anyway, that's all I really had for today. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation. Love you, mean it. Okay, bye.